Hello.
Week 2, the Hooligans pitch. We're back.
We're back this week. I really want to go for 2 likes on the podcast.
That's the goal. If we can get 2 likes on this track, I'll actually be stoked. The first like was a screen cap instantly sent saying, "Holy shit, I just got a notification that someone liked it." I don't know who that was. I had no idea.
Yeah. So, hopefully they will tell a friend and we'll get 2 likes.
This is how it spreads. This is how it starts. And it's just going to go viral. We're just going to spread out. Got to start somewhere. All right, I'm popping my beer here. I have a longboat giraffe, little local brew.
Ooh, okay. What kind is that?
Like, tropical IPA with mango.
Oh, I love a good mango IPA.
They, in their menu or whatever, it said they use 300 pounds of mango zest for this batch. So,
whoa. Nice.
What about you?
I'm going with my tried and true Belching Beaver Deftones collab. Phantom Bride. Oh,
ooh, I don't know if
I love it.
I haven't had a Belching Beaver in at least 5 years.
Man, they make some good stuff. But this one's probably my favorite. It's nice IPA, but it has a little bit of like almost a little bit like floral taste to it, but it's not overpowering.
Nice. I love those beers. I just like beer.
Well, yeah. Beer and footy. What more could you need?
A combination. All right, let's start with the games here. Let's just go down the list. Let's do our game, but we're going to change the name of it. I think we're just going to go shocked or not shocked. Aston Villa 2-1 over Everton. Shocked, not shocked? Shocking.
I don't think it's shocking necessarily. Like, I expected a draw out of the game, honestly, but to see Everton lose was not a surprise.
So for those people with Michael Keane, which there are a couple, I'm not sure how many, he hasn't played yet. He's not injured. That's a little bit of a worry.
Now that you brought in Cody, I don't think he will.
Especially over Mina too. Some injury has to come up where he would need to slide in there, but yeah, I don't see that happen. Okay, next one we got. Who's on my list here? Brighton Newcastle drop. That's not too surprising.
I think they've both been looking decent so far. So yeah, I think it draws. It's pretty good.
Fair enough. All right, down to Arsenal Leicester. Boy, what a game!
Man, I'm not surprised Arsenal won just because Leicester has looked rough last season, and the first game is kind of more of the same. But I will say I'm surprised that the Arsenal of past seasons, when they had let in a goal, everything would just fall apart. But this time is you let in a goal, still in the attack, still pushing to get more. So I'm surprised in a good way.
No, definitely
is making that improvement.
I was shocked too, to say the least, that every time Leicester scored, it took Arsenal a couple minutes at most to get one back, and then just put them right over, just have that insurance goal ready to go.
And even the goals that Arsenal gave up was one's an own goal, which is just unfortunate. And then the other one is, Madison just punted that thing, and Ramsdale maybe could have done better, but it looked like a pretty strong strike.
Yeah, Ramsdale didn't really get tested. Just it was the 3 major shots, only 1 save. So he didn't really have much going on, but I get it. Those games, when those come whizzing by you, it's hard to get used to the speed of everything. Kristen walked in the door when they scored their first goal, and she was pumped. And then Jesus scored another one, and she was like, "I don't know who that is." I was like, "You're not going to know everyone."
Yeah, look, it was his home debut for Arsenal. He looks really good.
He looks pretty good.
Nice to have an actual striker, so...
Yeah, and he's young. That goes a long way.
The whole team is young. I think Xhaka or Partey might be the oldest now, and they're both 28 or 29, so...
That's crazy. Well, it was a fun game to watch. That was the main one I watched this weekend. Manchester City, Bournemouth, not shocked at all. That is I expected more, to be honest.
It's not surprising. And as it was going on, we were texting each other, yep, another City midfielder, midfield, and now with Holland up top, there's just going to be goals all over the pitch for them.
Okay, so I got a question for you. For three midfielders: De Bruyne, Foden, Gundogan. Who do you think got the most points? And I know you put in Kevin's, but you don't know about Gundogan's and Foden's. If you look at their stat line hard enough, maybe you could determine it. But
I mean, I just have to say Kevin because that's the only one I would know have any like real guess on.
Kevin tied with Foden. They had the exact same stat line: 14 goals, a goal and assist, 2 clearances, and 2 shots. So
Okay.
that goes a long way.
I mean, it's like we said last week. You can pick any of them, you'll be fine.
Yep. Gundogan, the only difference he had is he didn't get an assist, and he got subbed out before the 4th goal. Take out those, put those things into his play, they all have the same stat line. Like, identical.
Dang.
So, take your pick. Everyone picked De Bruyne. Not surprised. But yeah, that stood out. I was like, that's pretty funny. Next one, Southampton and Leeds. Not surprised. It was a weird game. I watched the last half of it.
Okay.
Nothing
I
special.
didn't really see any of it, but I guess I'd maybe be a little bit surprised. Because Leeds generally is like okay defensively, and the Southampton team has not looked good at all.
No, they have no offensive presence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I mean, a draw is not surprising. I would just say I probably would have expected Leeds to win, honestly. But
that's true. It could have gone either way for me personally. Those games are just a coin toss. You don't know if you're going to get a quality game or a shit show, and that was kind of a shit show.
True.
But we got more shit shows coming. Wolverhampton, Fulham. I'm surprised Wolverhampton didn't put in a goal. Fulham.
Yeah.
Fulham's not one to score, but they put 2 in against Liverpool, so to see nothing from them was kind of surprising. Mitrovic did miss a PK, so that does go a long way, and maybe they do have a goal, and Jose Sa doesn't save it, but he did his job.
I mean, I don't really know what Wolves are doing. Like, you got a good keeper. Your back line is pretty good. I mean, good enough to get rid of Cody.
Yeah.
So, they're not worried about that. But like you still have, I think, Pedro Neto. I don't know if he played or if he's injured or not, but he's always been a goal threat. So like, hopefully they're trying to sign people to complement that and like get some attack going, because you can have a good keeper and everything, but you need the goals to win games. So like, what are you doing?
They had 1 shot on goal.
Yikes.
That's it. They still aren't starting Traore because he's back now from Barcelona for them, and I don't understand that one. He seemed. I mean, get him in there.
I wonder if he's trying to get his way out again or something. But
they subbed him in. He played.
Okay.
But it was just so late. So late in the game.
I mean, yeah, I'd figure you throw whatever firepower you have. Like, why save it?
Yeah, that's an odd one. Okay, and then the best game of the week is definitely Brentford and Man U. Definitely.
Clearly the best game.
So fun. I was having a blast watching it. I was pumped. I got a text from my aunt. She was like, happy belated birthday. Did you see Manchester United lose? I was like, yes, I did. I was like, it was great. Even Kristen was like, wow, they're not very good. And then Ronaldo, they said, oh, Cristiano Ronaldo, with a missed shot. She goes, oh, I know him. He's really old. And I was like, yep, you're right.
I mean, look, United's been a shit show for a while.
Yep.
And see, they're in that weird spot. Like, they're either going to have to really put up with this season and how bad it could be and keep Ten Hag there, or they're going to keep doing the same thing of cycling through managers, and you got all these like mismatched pieces and guys that are making way too much money for like the quality that they're providing. But it's always great to laugh at United. I love seeing them just struggle, and I mean, especially Brentford. Like, Brentford's a fine team, but
yeah, they're fine. They shouldn't be doing that though to a club like Man U.
And within like 35 minutes?
35. I think 35 minutes in, it was 4-0. I was like, this is the greatest day ever.
And watching some of those goals, it's just like childish defending.
It's
like
crazy. I was like, Kristen, you could stop that.
Yeah,
like you really could. Just like throw your body at it. And I think De Gea gets so lazy at times and just like doesn't do the fundamentals, and then it takes one little slip, and then the whole game just goes. Your teammates lose all confidence in you when you let one slip by like that, and that was a bad one to let go. Even the guy who scored it, De Silva, he was like, "I guess it's in." Like, how disrespectful is that to De Gea? That's wild.
And like that's probably like not only is it a bad start, obviously, but kind of the worst way to start because like Brentford is already going to be up for its their first home game and going up against United, so historically a big team.
Yep.
So they want to come out and play, and then to like squeeze in a little goal like that, that's just like completely skyrocketed
For
their
sure.
spirits and their confidence. And I mean, as we saw, it worked.
Yep. It worked wonders. It was crazy. Did you happen to go into the Manchester United subreddit?
No, I did not.
Oh, you gotta check that out. It was a pity party, and it looked like everyone wanted to like stab each other. They're like, "This is the worst squad," blah blah blah. I mean, it was. I get it. I get that frustration. I did see a rumor though that Inter and AC Milan put in bids for Ronaldo and were denied. That happened today. So that could be interesting. I mean, if I'm him, I'm out of there. They ain't you're 37. You're on like the last few years of your career. Why would you want to waste your time there? It's for nothing.
And I think honestly, for United, it would probably be smarter to just get rid of him because you are kind of having to go through a rebuild, and Ronaldo will get you some goals and assists throughout the season, but he's not going to carry your team like he could have done in years past.
Right.
So get him out of there. Whatever you were paying him, you can divert to some younger talent or at least some other stopgap sort of situation. But like I said, I still like to laugh at United. So
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
I don't feel bad for them in any way. That's not what I'm saying here. It's just that guy. When Ronaldo's on your team, there's such an overwhelming pressure that is just crumbling all those young dudes, I think. And that's why no one's able to kind of get better there. No one has gotten better, I feel like, at United in the last 10 years. Can you think of anyone who's gotten better since joining them?
I'd say like Robin van Persie when he went, because they did win the league when he went over there, right?
Did he get better, though? I don't know if he was better.
Yeah, I don't know if like individually he was better, but at least I guess he had at least more team cohesion, right? Like you're able to win the league.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a rough one. I really don't have much more to say about that besides good luck this year. I think they'll lose the next game too.
Who do they have next?
Pool.
Oof, yeah.
So
that one's gonna be so rough.
They're in for a tough couple weeks here. And then today we had Nottingham Forest and West Ham. Did you see that game or watch any highlights?
I caught the second half of it.
Okay. West Ham should have scored, what, 4 or 5 goals?
Probably, I'd say at least 3, because I think they had 3 off the crossbar or post.
Yep. The PK.
And the PK, so... Which, funny enough, Dean Henderson was supposed to be kind of United's like first choice keeper, and then they kept sticking with De Gea. So
he's no longer with them, I believe. I don't think he's on loan.
Is he fully like transferred out?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's done with them, and I don't blame him one bit.
I mean, it looked like he had a good performance. Like even regardless of the penalty save, he was, making the stops he needed to, and
he was quick to his feet,
away and
really quick getting up. And then the goal. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like, Forest kind of reminded me of Brentford in that way. Like they know they're like the underdog, so they're coming to play, and I think they'll probably, kind of get one over on a lot of teams that fall into that trap of like, oh, it's just Forest. They're new up to the Premier League. We can just kind of stomp on them and then not really try. But Forest is coming like 110%.
Yeah, it's wild to watch how fast they are. Nakate too. He was fun to watch. He can jump, man. He can really jump.
Yeah. I was keeping an eye on him too, since some people picked him up in the league.
Yeah,
But
that's super great. I love that there's a Forest player. The one goal they scored, I thought Lingard just totally whiffed it and probably should have got some solid contact. So that would have been cool to see him score and us be right on our next team or next best. But they're winning right now, right? I think I saw him with the most
oh,
points.
we chose too well at next best.
And they still
Yeah,
have another player. There's still more to come.
uh, yeah, their points are at 110, and
110.
next best is at 106.5. So
Wow.
it's tight, but they definitely got the lead.
Who scored the most points for next best?
Oh, that is a good question.
Dunk.
Um,
Dunk had a pretty good day. Saw had a good day.
I probably saw. I mean, yeah, he had 15 points this
Yeah,
week.
that's solid. Dang, that's
So
crazy. No one has him.
yeah, that's the thing. I was like inputting it, and I was like, maybe do I make a sub? So but that's kind of the fun part of having that team in there is like now you can follow this team
For
and
sure.
players that you might be interested in or didn't even think about, and it can change your team. It can win you back some points, and I think it'll be cool to see how it evolves over the weeks.
And then final game today was Chelsea Tottenham. I did
Ay,
see
ay,
the
ay.
highlights. That was a wild one. God, Tottenham gets so bailed out at the end. I swear.
It was just like Chelsea looked really good. I didn't see them play last week, but just kind of basing it off of when Arsenal played them in preseason. Like, granted, it's preseason, so it's like doesn't mean anything. But they looked in that preseason game. They looked so just slow and just not up for it. But here they were quick, much sharper. Um, they look good throughout most of the game. And then I know Spurs changed their formation around a little bit with some subs and definitely changed the game a little bit. And like Chelsea kind of lost control a little bit more. But I think it really came down to a few Anthony Taylor special calls
Oh
or no calls, I
man,
guess.
he holds his whistle and then just makes the most weirdest decisions. It's so
Yeah.
strange. Um, yeah, that was an interesting choice there for. Yeah, how do they choose what referee's going to choose ref these games? 'Cause I swear Chelsea and Anthony Taylor get it. Every weekend? That's an exaggeration, but it's. I swear I always see
It
his
does
name on
seem
that.
often. Like,
Often.
yeah, I would think it's, a random draw sort of thing, but it does always seem to be
That's
that.
interesting. We should. I'm going to write that down to look up because I wonder if it's territorial based. There's 5 refs in that area. Those guys are going to be in that game. That'd be crazy. I expect them to travel around a little bit, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works, but I do know there is the petition set up by some Chelsea fans to like ban Anthony Taylor from refing their games, and it has like I think it's over 10,000 signatures now.
no way. That's awesome. Um,
So,
has Anthony Taylor given up the most red cards or given out the most red cards in the Premier League?
of current refs, maybe.
I want to say he's up there. I'm going to look up that stat too on Taylor because I swear, man, he just makes terrible calls.
But, I mean, that's the thing is like, did you go back and watch any of
Yeah.
the? So like, what the first one, Bentancur clearly tackles Kai Havertz,
Yep.
and there's no call, and then
Betancourt knew he fouled him. He was
yeah,
expecting him to blow the whistle, and he didn't. He's like, "Oh, all right, sweet, play on."
yeah,
And they just kept
and
going.
then it kind of like it goes on from there, and they eventually Tottenham eventually scores, and it's like some people are arguing online saying that the foul happens or the no call happened like too far ahead of when the goal happened, so like wouldn't have affected that. The goal would have happened anyway. But it's like if that foul on Havertz is called, it's a free kick the other way. It's a completely different outcome of the game now, right? Like, yeah, then maybe they still score a goal later, but I don't know. I think that's a pretty big call to miss.
When it's that blatant of a call and you miss it, anything can
Yeah.
happen afterwards, and it's so easy to go back to that moment where you're like, we could have got a different situation happen. We saw this over there. Like it changes really the whole game because now you don't trust this ref to to make the right call.
Yeah, and that's like the line judge. I think is pretty close to that challenge too, because Kai gets up right away and is yelling at him. So like, none of these refs are watching. Like I'm not even a Chelsea fan, but like to see just like such bad calls just sucks because you want the games to be like fair and competitive still, even if it's like teams you don't support or you don't like necessarily. Yep. But I mean,
it should be fair. It should be fair.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some ego power trip things with the linesman and the head referee. Because, I mean, linesmen probably see things and, they might tell the head ref and he might tell them to, bugger off.
I mean, yeah, it could be kind of the same as, like, kind of how we think with VAR, where VAR will check a lot of things, but they also seem to not want to overrule the ref on the field and make them look bad. So I'm sure it's kind of the same thing of like, yeah, the refs on the side might be seeing things and at least saying something, but they're not going to fight it, I guess.
VAR right now in all sports is such trash. It seems like such a simple thing to process, yet it's so bad at making the right outcome. A baseball game happened earlier this week where there's a video assistant referee type deal, and they totally just got it wrong, and everyone is perplexed, and then the game was over. And people were like, how do you do that? How does someone do that and make that call? So yeah, that sucks. The stuff between Conte and Kovacic at halftime, I guess they were bumping into each other in the tunnel. Did you see this?
Really?
Yeah. So something happened. I don't think it's on camera, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to find it or see exactly what happened. But yeah, Conte and Kovacic got into a little bump match, I guess, in the hall. And then I think that's why Tuchel and Conte at the end were like doing whatever they were doing. Did you see that? What the hell was that? Okay, first off, who started it? Like because they both shook hands.
So
who like grabbed harder and like gave a pull? Because I couldn't tell.
When I watched it live, I thought it was Conte. But then watching it again and kind of hearing what Tuchel said in some like post-match interview, he said something along the lines of, when you shake someone's hand, you're supposed to look them in the eye, and Conte didn't want to do that or something. So I think it's like Tuchel goes to shake, see that Conte wants to dodge him, and then Tuchel like hangs on. It's like, no, you're gonna look at me. Like you're gonna respect this handshake and probably kind of respect that this game was like not in your favor and you guys got away with one.
I'm doing a frame by frame of it right now, and there's a great. I'll have to screen cap this and put it in our chat. But Tuchel he has like Conte's arm seat belted around him with like a side eye, like, yeah, I just did that type thing. So all right, I think Tuchel definitely is egging this on.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch. Like, had it been like Arteta, I'd probably feel a little bit stronger either way, but it's entertaining as a neutral.
I think it could fire your team up too, and it definitely did. I don't know whose team got more fired up out of it. I mean, I would assume probably Chelsea. Because Tottenham just scored.
I think it was kind of. I think that was kind of Conte's plan, because if you watch after Tottenham scores their first goal, there's already a little like tussle going on between Conte and Tuchel on the sideline, because
that was
runs over like cheering right in his face sort of thing. So I think it was one of those like, I'm gonna show my players that like how much this means to me and how much I care, that I'm gonna like, kind of play a little bit dirty if I need to get the rise out of them. And then I think it was 10 minutes later or something, Chelsea goes and grabs their second goal, and Tuchel's running down the line past Conte.
He ran so far. That was awesome. I just checked the stat line. 2 red cards went out after the game ended. I'm assuming who'd they go to? I didn't see who they went to.
Conte and Tuchel.
So what does that mean? They're suspended now for the next match?
Yeah, they both will be. Yeah. So
Worth?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I get you're in the moment and all this sort of stuff, but like, is it worth it to now miss your next match? I mean, these days, like they sit in the stands and they're probably on a phone call the whole time,
Yeah,
and
that's
you know,
they have
pretty much
AirPods in
silent.
their ears, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
probably Conte talking to you.
Yeah.
Cool. That wraps up all the games for the weekend. We just have the Liverpool Crystal Palace tomorrow, which I will be watching. Are you going to be around? You want to watch it?
Yeah, I'll be
Cool.
around to watch
Okay,
it.
sweet. Couple things I want to do. Do you have a goal of the week? Any goals that stood out to you this weekend?
Mm.
I'll start so you can maybe think about it.
Mhm.
Mine's definitely going Josh De Silva for Brentford to get that first goal started, because that was like
Pretty nice.
that was a pretty good, because that game was later. I had my coffee already. What time was it? It was probably around like 12:30 ish.
Hmm.
And that was just we just went after that. The day was just peaking. We were just climbing after that game. So that was really fun. So that's my shout out for the goal of the week. You know,
Okay.
not the most banger of goals, but still fun.
I think if I take my Arsenal fan hat off,
You don't have to.
I'm going to give you an Arsenal goal and a non-Arsenal goal.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Non-Arsenal goal, I'd probably say Koulibaly's strike today for
Damn,
Chelsea.
that was
Like
tight.
for like a defender to hit that so cleanly and just like rock it in. I mean, I love seeing those kind of goals anyway, but like it seems more special when it's a defender.
Yep,
And like a center defender too, not your wing backs that are used to crossing and shooting these days. Like,
dunked it.
yeah. But then for Arsenal goal, I think I got to go with Gabriel Jesus' first goal, where he just like kind of picks it up in the box and does this like nice little lobby thing all the way across the goal, and it seemed like so effortless. Like he just had it, tons of guys in his way. Who cares? Just boot it over and it goes in, sails in perfectly. It was so nice to watch.
They're going to be fun to watch. I am really excited to see their attack. It's crazy to see Xhaka running into the box. I was like, who the hell? I was like, what is who? How old is he now? Like, he's running so fast. He's getting in there. So that was cool. They're fun to root for just because we're watching their real-time drama, which Kristen's in love with. And I know everything that happens. And I'm like, ooh, guess what happens next? Think they're going to win this game? Pretty stressful, huh? And she's totally into it. So that's fun.
Man.
We just finished episode 4. So we got 5 and 6
Oh,
left.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've finished. Well, so I'm current. So I guess I watched episode 6, and like I've kind of enjoyed how open they've been with a lot of this stuff that's gone on. So I watched recent or past seasons, and you know, it's always kind of wants to make the club shine in the best lighting, right? Whereas here, it's this season that it was recorded is a little bit turbulent for Arsenal. Like they had the Aubameyang situation, they had all the COVID issues that other teams had to deal with, and you know, it's nice to see the actual like behind the scenes of that, and not just like, yeah, Aubameyang didn't work out, he had to go.
See ya.
Yeah, but man, I love seeing Arteta's speeches. Like it, like especially some of those games, I remember watching and getting so frustrated at how the team is performing, and just like wondering if like I'm just frustrated because I can see it and they're not doing what they should be doing, and you know, if Arteta's like manager enough to call them out on this, and then you see it in All or Nothing, he's like storming in, like playing the like ball crate thing, and like shaking
was
it
cool.
around, like pointing people out, but like in the most motivating way somehow. Like,
Yeah, it's really interesting to see them respond to his character, because I know, like, if I saw that, you know, you got to be stressed as hell, but they all like they accept his words pretty gracefully, even when he is pissed and even when they are playing like shit. They just accept it really easily, so that's cool to see. I do notice when Arteta is like super mad, he can't like look at anyone in the eyes. He's just like kind of like pacing back and forth, like processing information at 1,000 miles per hour, and it's fascinating. Unfortunately, we're watching it right now on Plex, and there's no subtitles. So
you can turn them on.
oh, they're on. They have them for it.
Yeah, there's
Okay, I'll
a
have to do
in your
that.
like menu option you can turn
Okay,
them on.
because there's a
Yeah, I do the same
okay.
because otherwise, yeah, I'm sure you miss a lot of what
Well,
he's saying.
there was an interesting conversation with Martinelli that I'll probably go back and watch it again to know what he was talking to with the technical director. I don't know what the conversation was. It looked good. They looked happy. I'm sure it was like, "How you doing? Like, let's go win us a game." Blah blah blah. But
Yeah,
there's moments now that I thought about it with Bouyameng where he was talking French and I don't know what he's saying, and I thought that was like just part of the show. Like, oh, skeptic. Like, ooh,
yeah,
let's think about what he's saying here. But no, the subtitles are just off. So
yeah,
I'll go flip those back on.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely helps, especially when like some of the guys come in with different accents and stuff, and it's like I'm not great at hearing through accents sometimes, so it's like
We
nice to have it spelt out for me.
I think we looked for the subtitles at first because when Tierney came on, we went, oh no. We went, oh no, where are the subtitles? And we couldn't find them. And I think we just were like, we don't need to go back. We didn't catch much of that. We were trying to lip read because you can, if you can lip read, it might work out. But it was still, that was rough. Yeah, Tierney was rough. All right, so I think, and then we're gonna do a player of the week, and then we can make some emojis on our Discord. Who was your player of the week for week 1? If you had to go back and because let's backtrack a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my weekly player breakdown just to remember what happened. Mendy had a good game, 11 points at keep. We have Mitrovic at 15.5. He is next best though, so maybe we avoid next best because that's bound to happen. Salah with 8, Haaland with 12. That's pretty solid week 1. I think he was the highest scorer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. He definitely was.
I mean, it makes sense to give the guy with the most points the player of the week.
Yeah, I like that too for week 1. You know, it's his debut in the Premier League, and he, silenced any haters right away.
Totally,
basically. So,
right away. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's do Haaland week 1. I think maybe forwards are just going to get points, so maybe we do offensive player of the week, defensive player of the week. We each bring one to the table, we vote on it, and we'll go through the process. Week 1 defender of the week, want to go Mendy since he got 11?
Yeah,
that's like pretty solid. He had a pretty good game. Okay, cool. Now week 2. Can we give it to anyone else but Jesus? I mean, that 20.5 points, that's the most we've had in a long time.
I mean, yeah, 2 goals, 2 assists, and he very well could have had more than that if he got a few shots on target.
He was so close. I thought he was going to score a hat trick like 2 different times. Mm-hmm. It was so close.
Yeah, I think he definitely looked like the best attacker this week. I mean, I guess we don't know for Liverpool and Palace.
That's true. That's
someone
true.
Could come in, but
it could be solid. So maybe we. No, you know what? We'll do Monday games. We'll put Monday games into next weekend. We'll just do it since we're going to keep chatting on Sundays. So yeah, Jesus, we'll do him for offensive, and then defensive player of the week. I'll check it again. Me gets my vote.
I was kind of thinking Ben Mee just because
clean sheet goal.
I mean, clean sheet. You're part of taking down United. Like
that's a pretty special day.
Yeah, I'd be cool with him, or I mean, Jose Sa. Just you get that penalty save. Like,
yeah, but we're gonna call him on next best. So we're gonna hold off on.
Oh, true.
On next best, Musa Akate 11.5. I think if he would have got a goal, that would push him over Ben Mee for me. Mm-hmm. Reece James with a goal, but he's next best. Any other defenders? Koulibaly. I mean, if he kept a clean sheet, I would put Koulibaly in. He still had a really good game. I will not be surprised if Koulibaly's on this list like for a very long time, like weekly.
Yeah,
Chelsea's so good in the back.
I just I've known he's good just from general like soccer ramblings, but I've never really watched him week in and week out because I would only ever see him either in Champions League or Europa League, depending where Napoli was. But yeah, he looks really good, and I'm sure he's going to top the charts here like pretty much every week.
He already is. He's already at let's see, he's already at 16 points for a defender. That's got to be the most, I imagine, for defenders. just over Ben Mee at 13, and we don't know what Ben Mee did first week, so Ben Mee and him might be top of the ranks right now.
Yeah, but I mean, even comparing to like everyone chose Mason Mount pretty much, and
Besides Theo.
yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some people switch out Mount and pick up Koulibaly because he's I mean, it's granted it's 2 weeks, but he's bringing in like good consistent points so far.
Yep. For me, I was thinking about like how if I were to make a switch now because I am left with 2 subs.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is going to be like, a top 6 team, I have to like do both subs at the same time because I'd have to switch them. So I don't know. It's a weird. I'm so glad I don't have Sonya and Chu anymore though. Like that was. I'm sure Sufi is feeling the same way. I'm sure you'd rather have 11.5 and 13 instead of 0. So that
Now,
sucks.
are you going to hang on to Ericsson?
Yes.
Because he himself performed well. I mean, he only got 2 points, but a lot of that is, just overall team didn't perform well. But he made some. I think he had a shot on target and 2 blocks, a couple clearances maybe. So
today United played him as a defensive mid. I wasn't. The ball did not centralize around him as much.
Yeah, that's a mistake. He's not a defensive mid.
He didn't try to like play like it the entire time, but he just wasn't in the right spot. It was like Fernandez was, or for week 1, Fernandez and him were almost playing in the same spot. This time they dropped Ericsson back, I think to partner with McTominay, and I mean their backline just sucks. So.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Ronaldo started. This was the difference. Ronaldo started this game. Ericsson was playing a false 9 role week 1. Ronaldo came in. They pushed him way the hell back, and they looked worse. Which,
I mean, look, Ericsson is not quick, and he's not a defensive mid really. So yeah, you're pairing him with either McTominay or Fred, and I don't think either one of them are necessarily good enough to like be the sole defensive mid.
no.
And then, Brentford, like we said, is playing really confidently and quick. And, I mean, you just blow past the midfield. And then, yeah, your defensive line is
in shambles.
Not great.
Maguire was terrible. Martinez was terrible. It was awful to watch. It was hilarious to watch at the same time. I loved it. Again, we already said how much we loved it, but shocking.
I mean, I'm just glad because Arsenal was in the running for Lissandro Martinez. I don't know where Arteta would have used him. I don't think he would have used him as a central defender because I think he's 5'9", which is short for a central defender.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not upset that Arsenal missed out on that signing at this point. He could change my mind later down the road, but so far it could be just more of a team thing of like the whole team is in shambles. But it's just funny to watch. I don't know. I enjoy it too much. But
it's like the car accident. You just keep wanting to talk about it, and you keep looking at it, just going, "Oh my god, it's on fire now." We'll see after next week. I'm really curious next Monday. I'm so bummed Liverpool plays on a Monday again. I think Kristen probably thinks I'm not a fan of them anymore because she's like, "Oh, no Liverpool today." I was like, "They're not playing." She's like, "Oh, no Liverpool today either." I'm like, "They're not playing." And I'm gonna have to do the same thing next week.
Yeah. I was surprised they got 2 Monday games back to back. And I guess that's how it works. But I think they're just gonna steamroll United. Like,
we'll see how tomorrow goes. I think they'll bounce back pretty good. I mean, they always play Palace well. I swear the first game of the season they always don't do that good, and then of course it's a bottom of the league team that comes in all hot and ready and like, let's do this, and then Liverpool's like, oh yeah, let's do it too. So I'm sure they'll be fine in the long run. That doesn't really stress me out too much. I don't have too much more to say. Points look good. It's a pretty tight top 5 right now.
it is, yeah.
Even down to, let's see, what does last place have? 60? Only 40 points away. Jimmy caught up a little bit. That's good. Yeah, big games from a couple of Sanchez, Brighton's keeper, big game, and only a couple people had him. It's the De Bruyne versus Haaland. Who's going to score that week? That's how you're going to jump up. Like that's really what it's going to come to, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think once people start to get away from Mason Mount and get a little more diverse in that midfield, we'll see a little bit more movement and separation.
Yeah.
Right now, everyone's just everyone pretty much has Mount, so it's we're all gaining points or not gaining points.
Do you feel like there's one person who is just like, are you shocked at their performance so far? That it's just been super underwhelming 2 games in?
I don't know if I'd say like super underwhelming, but I think I would have expected a little bit more from Bukayo Saka. Like he's been a little bit quiet the first 2 games, which could just be the new build of the team. We have an actual striker up front, so not everything is going through Saka anymore, which is great on a team level, but
Concerning.
in fantasy, like you're now dropping some points in fantasy. But I think he'll perk up here soon. Like that kid just loves to play and loves to get into the box and shoot. So, and he's been doing that still, just hasn't really hit the target yet. So,
well, if it makes you feel better, only one person has more than 10 points for midfielders, and it's De Bruyne.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's midfield as a whole right now is struggling, I guess, right?
Yep.
We have big names in there. If you take out De Bruyne, like Tielemans on Leicester should be doing better, even with Leicester being a little bit meh. Ericsson, Fernandez should be better than what they're putting out. Even Souček and Rice on.
He should have
West
had a
Ham,
goal
like,
today. Should have had a goal.
Like they're both. Those two are like such a good blend of defense and attacking threat, and like we've seen in years past, you have either one of them, and you're consistently getting like almost 10 points a game because they would get shots off, they would get the blocks, get the clearances, sometimes get a goal. Like
Souček is a wild player. He'll get so many clearances and a goal in these games, and it's like not a lot of people choose a defensive mid like that and have him do this. This decent in the season. Did Declan Rice really get negative 4.5 points?
Well, yeah, he had the penalty miss, so that really hurt him.
Is that -5? The penalty miss?
I believe it is. Yeah, -5.
Oh.
And then -2 for a yellow card. So it's -7 from the get go, basically.
Does Zach have him? I think he. Yeah, Zach's the only one with Declan. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's not a great day for him, and I guess West Ham in general. But it's next week that'll probably bounce back, and he'll score a goal probably.
Probably. And then I did catch some of the Everton game. When Ali came on, they played a lot better, a lot faster, and with a lot more confidence. It wasn't great, but they played better. So I wonder if he'll make the starting lineup next time, because it's crazy to see a 25-year-old sit on the bench for this team. It's crazy. They're so bad.
I mean, I think Everton's not going to want to get into that same situation as last year, fighting for relegation. So I think if you're Lampard, you kind of have to. I think you more or less have your defense figured out. Like you have Cody in there, you have Tarkowski, Pickford's the best you have in keep right now, and what you have. I guess I don't know who their fullbacks are, but I think your defensive line is mostly fine. So you have to just kind of find the other keys to fit in there, and I think Dele Alli can be that. He used to be good to decent,
He's still young enough to still do it. And then is Calvert-Lewin still hurt?
I think so. I think he went out like late last season with some like knee injury or something.
Yeah, let's check
He
the timetable.
might be working his way back here pretty soon, but
17th of September should be back.
oh really?
Yeah, so
Further than I thought.
still a little longer. Yeah, they got a lot of injuries, Everton, so they got some stuff they need to deal with.
Well, I wouldn't be upset with them going down, but it's a long season. There's plenty of time for. I don't think they're going to even risk it if Lampard loses the next 2-3 games. He's maybe out the door. I think it'll be a quick switch.
Yeah, if they get relegated, that would be wild. It'd be the first time in a long time. They've been in Premier League for ever since I could remember.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams, I swear there's like a switch out like 3 or 4, and then they keep going back and forth from Championship to Premier League. So
Yeah, pretty much.
it'll be fun to watch. Right now, the bottom of the table is Man U, then West Ham and Crystal Palace. So I imagine that will probably stand after tomorrow if Liverpool gets the
Probably.
job done. Goal differential, Man U's at -5. So let's see. Liverpool would have to win 3-0 for Man U to not be at the bottom of the table. So that's the goal for me tomorrow. Keep Man U at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll all be pretty happy.
Well, look, the hope for Man U is that last season Arsenal started with 3 defeats, a -9 goal differential. So there's room for improvement still.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then last thing, I'm just gonna go through our standings and our what's it called, top scores. Has that been swapped or anything?
Oh, I did not. But,
Okay, we can do that later.
Yeah, it probably hasn't changed too much. I mean, yeah, the Forest game was only Jesse Lingard and Niakate, so he might be up
Niakate
there.
might make what, top
11.5. So
Oh yeah, he'll push out someone.
yeah, and then what, the Chelsea Tottenham game was, I think Koulibaly probably had the most.
Yeah, he's sitting at 11.5.
Yeah, so top
Is that right?
scores should be mostly the same.
Oh, Koulibaly only with 8.5. Did he get a yellow today?
I don't think so, but I mean, he didn't get the clean sheet bonus, which
True.
That's 5 points right there.
It's
7
always
points
big.
for defenders.
Clean
5 points, yeah.
clean sheet 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he had a good day. It was just not keeping a clean sheet.
Oh, not a lot of clearances. Only 4 for the game. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty light on real defensive actions.
Not for Tottenham though. My lord.
Well, like I said, they were Chelsea was in control for felt like most of the game, and then it just kind of flipped, and some calls didn't go Chelsea's way, and 2-2.
32 clearances for Tottenham. 7 blocks. They were busy.
Yeah, there you go.
Quite busy. All right, well, I'll be around for tomorrow. Is there anything else you want to bring up? I think I'm pretty good there.
No, yeah, I think this is a pretty good second week. Like, I mean, for me personally, like, I jumped up the table quite a bit, so I think a lot of people's picks have looked good still, and the people that have made subs have made smart subs, you included.
I should have gone with my gut from week 1. I expect some subs pretty soon for Cody or Tarkowski.
Yeah,
I won't be surprised if those come through. It's just.
I mean, yeah, like I gave it this one game, and then you still just lose against Aston Villa, so I can't have both of them.
Yeah, way too risky. Yeah, I mean, from top to bottom, it's only split by 41 points, which is a bad week and a good week from someone. So it just depends. Okay. It's cool. This is competitive. I hope it stays that way, which it should.
Yeah.
Everyone's teams are pretty close.
Definitely.
All right, man. I'm going to make some emojis, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see what Liverpool can do.
Episode 2. Go Pool. All right, Chad. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Catch you later.
Have a good one.
我看